Um, yeah, the Jets do a good job in the running game, and they gave us a few challenging plays. So times it was okay. Some things we need to work on, make sure the players understand. Correct.
And along the topic, how about the tackling?
Some of it was good. We missed a few.
We'll go to Chris Ryan, followed by Matt Dahl.
Morning, Bill. How are you?
Good.
I want to ask you about J.C. Jackson. Obviously, the notable interceptions stood out, but as you watched the tape on J.C., what has stood out to you about his improvement, kind of throughout the course of his time with the Patriots and his impact?
I think each year JC gets a little bit more aware, a little better understanding of how to use his help and what time, when to be aggressive and use his help and when not to, when he doesn't have any, he has to play things a little more honest. But take advantage of the keys and the defense and the leverage that we have to try to get closer to the receiver.
Are you a
His
believer
run
in
force
the
his run force has improved, and say his tackling's improved. And there's still things for him to work on, but he's consistently gotten better over each of the 4 years.
Are you a believer in the number one corner type of player? Like, do you need to have a quote unquote shutdown number one, or is that something they feel is slightly overrated? And is he in that type of a category?
Yeah, well, it's always good to have good players at every position. So wherever you can get them, you try to get them.
Next question, Matt Dahl, followed by Mike Reese.
Morning, Bill. So last week there were more two tight end sets against the Dolphins, and then yesterday there were more three receiver sets, more 11 personnel. Was that just based on the personnel of the opponent, or was there sort of a combination of factors that went into that?
Yeah, I'd say a combination of things.
And we haven't seen much of the tight ends being targeted in the red zone or in the end zone. Is that also just based on the flow of the game, or is there something more big picture?
Yeah, we have everybody. Everybody has an opportunity. Which ones come up and how it unfolds. That's a little bit unpredictable. We don't just throw the ball to one guy. Maybe on a screen pass, but so it just depend on how the play develops. But yeah, we have options for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question, Mike Reese.
So on JC's first interception, the way that unfolded, Devin's role in the play, could you revisit that? And is that sort of textbook coaching, the way he sort of batted it up? Is that sort of the tip drill per se, from your view?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You probably have to ask them about that. I mean, it was. I think we're just trying to make a play at that point. JC did a good job of on the play action. Riding the in cut down there, and was able to get his hands on the ball, and ultimately, it got tipped to him. But I don't know. You'd have to ask Devin about that. I'm not sure.
And just one last one with Nick. You talked a little bit about him after the game and the field goal operation. I know just roster-wise, he had been elevated the last couple times from the practice squad. Is it sort of fair to say that he's coming up with Quinn on the IR? How do you see that going, I guess?
As I said a couple of weeks ago, I think there'll be roster movement on most every team in the first few weeks of the season, and so we'll see how it goes.
Next question, Matt Platoon.
Bill, from what you've seen, how has Brian Hoyer been as a mentor and a guy that's helped Mac along, and what is it about kind of his his demeanor or his personality beyond his football skills that has made him, in your mind, skilled in somebody that can do that?
Yeah, Brian's done a great job for us in every area. He obviously knows the offense better than any other player or quarterback. So, that's a big help when executing the play. There's the coaching version of it, and then as a player, there's kind of the execution of it. The little things that you remind yourself as a player that a coach sometimes doesn't. It's just different when you're a player and when executing the play and a coach trying to explain the play. And I think Brian adds a lot of good insight to that, and how other teams defensively do things because they're all different. And Brian helps me with things that he's seen. He's been with a lot of other teams, been with other coaches, been in other systems, and we talk about plays and situations. And he has a lot of good either ideas or recollections of the way somebody else did something, which might be something to learn from, or might be something that we can use and so forth. So yeah, he's been good, and knows the offense well. So Mac's been able to take a lot of reps, but Brian's been able to go in there and execute the offense when he's needed to, whether that be in a preseason games or in practice, without taking a ton of reps, so that we can give more of those to Mac. Since the last week of after the last preseason game. So that's that's really worked out well too.
Are there things that you ask him to sort of talk about with Mac or work with Mac, or do you just kind of trust that his instincts in that role? How much of that is you directed, and how much of that is just trusting what he'll do?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Again, there's a lot of conversations during the day. There's meetings, there's before meetings, there's after meetings, there's in practice, there's watching film of us, there's watching film of other quarterbacks against the defense we're playing, there's film of watching other quarterbacks and other teams in different situations. So it comes on a lot of different levels and a lot of different situations. It's all there. I'd say Brian's done a good job of all of it, but there's no definitive. It's all encompassing because we talk about so many things over the course of the day.
Next question, Chris Ryan again, and then Jim McBride.
Bill, I want to ask you about Devin as well, where a lot of the conversation around Devin is about leadership, winning, even philanthropy. But do you feel that he gets the appropriate recognition for the quality of football player that he is, and kind of in your historical lens as well? Where is Devin in that context?
Well, he certainly gets it around here. I mean, I don't know about anybody else. Everybody has their own opinions. I don't really know what those are, but certainly around here, he's highly respected and appreciated for all the things that he does unselfishly to help our team on the field as well as off the field. I mean, off the field's one thing, but he's a critical person on the field because of his quarterbacking of the secondary, the defense, and his playmaking ability, his tackling ability, and his ability to do the right things in coverage. And that's very, very important for his position, because one mistake back there is, it's not like the nose guard making a mistake. There's nobody behind him, so it's a much very important position, and any mistakes back there are really, can be a bit much bigger consequences than at other positions on the field. So yeah, I think there's plenty of respect and appreciation for everything he does here, and he's done it on a consistent level. Shows up every day, every week, every year, and that's that's a huge thing too.
It looks like the last two questions will be Jim McBride and Karen Green.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Jim.
I wanted to ask you about Jawan Bentley and what you've seen from his growth over the years. It seems that his responsibilities continue to grow season after season, and I'm wondering if that's an accurate assessment.
Yeah, I think that definitely is. He's done a great job of, last year taking control of the defense with High not here, and some of the other players who we had in 19, Jamie and back in now in last year, and then moving into this year, and he's still continued to step that role up. He's very smart, very good communicator, physical player, but I think he's taking it to another level this year in training camp, and even in the first couple of games in terms of his aggressiveness and instinct and just reading and recognizing things a little bit quicker. Just that split second at that position is a big difference a lot of times between a tackle for a loss and an 8-yard gain. So I think he's playing with a lot of confidence and playing a good physical style of football, taking on blockers, tackling, jamming receivers, doing all those things. And again, very, very smart to handle and make adjustments on the defense.
Thank you.
And last question, Karen Green.
Good morning, Bill.
Hi, Karen.
I was just wondering how concerned you were about the play at right tackle, and have you thought about perhaps moving Mike Onwenu there should Trent Brown not be available to play?
Yeah, I still need to spend a little more time here going through the film and talking about things, but I think we're all right here. Got 3 players that have played it, and I think they've all done some good things. Trent, I mean, not very much in the last 2 games, but we know Trent can do a good job over there, and Yasir and Justin have both done a solid job there. We've had some breakdowns at really all spots on the line, all spots offensively. It's just we've lacked some consistency, even though we have a lot of good plays and we've moved the ball, and we put ourselves into positive field position a lot of times this year. We just don't have enough results points wise that what we feel like we should have. So, but I think that's really a whole team thing, not any one individual, one guy. So we planned to play Justin and Yasir both yesterday, and we did, and they both got some good experience, and they both had a lot of good plays. So we'll see where we are this week and go from there.
Thank you, Bill.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Coach. Thanks, everyone.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line. together.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands. And there's an opponent we're all up against. COVID-19. But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated. So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.